Hello and welcome to Versus Challenge number
19.
19. I was just thinking that. So, welcome to the Terrible Gamers podcast. I'm Kevin, he's Kyle, and we are talking today about
We're still in our horror kick.
favorite. Yes, because it's October. It's October, right? I mean, we're recording in October, and we are doing all scary type games. So, today we are talking our favorite horror games.
Yes.
I'm before we get into this, I feel like, because we did talk about this last Halloween, I feel like this is a tough category. This is a tougher category to talk about than we originally thought it was going to be, and I'm pretty sure we talked about that last Halloween as well too.
Elaborate.
Because we last Halloween we did like Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street for the NES,
Chiller or whatever.
and we talked about Chiller, right? And now we can actually play Chiller the right way because we have the light gun capability, which would be really awesome to play it like the actual right way. So maybe the next episode we actually break that back out.
Yeah,
I think
we say that and we won't do it.
I know. So, but I feel like this is that category that you think that there's going to be so many games, but it's all modern games.
Yeah.
You know, like this was
It's also modern games because we played modern games. There are older
True.
retro scary games, but we didn't fucking play them. Like before we started recording, I looked into some. I'm like, never heard of it. And some of them were point and click computer games.
yeah.
Where you clicked open the door and then the zombie jumps out at you, back up, like you would click like Myst, but simpler.
Or like last versus game, Doom and Wolfenstein. That was my scary games growing up. You know, like I was terrified playing Doom as a 6-year-old, 7-year-old. I should not have played Doom when I was
Should not have.
Jesus, or 10 or whatever I was, 8, 10 years old. I should not have been playing it. But I did. Here we are, and I'm fine. Whatever. I guess. I think I'm all right.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe.
Sure,
Before we get started, we are repping the Reaper apparel. Check them out.
Reaper apparel.
Reaper.
Rudder.
Yep. So check them out in our link tree down below, and make sure you give a look out to Dubby. Try some of their stuff, their energy drinks, as well as gamer fuel or hydration drinks. They are amazing as well too. So definitely give those a check out because they have some great stuff over there.
They run good
Dubby.
deals.
Yes,
all the
time.
combo buckets, things like that.
Reaper's running a deal right now too. So
If you get one bucket, then you're good to use our code. I think if you use one of their bundles, our code won't work. But use our Terrible Gamers code for 10%, 15% off, something like that.
yeah, something like that. So
It's worth it. Give it. Get one. Love it. Thank us later.
yeah,
And then go
TeePublic.
to TeePublic, look at our merch. Buy a sticker, buy a T-shirt, buy a hat. Yeah,
Terrible Gamers.
I didn't get those on TeePublic, but you can.
We have them on there now. There's some other designs on there too. It's great. So follow us on all of our social medias: Facebook, Instagram.
Sorry, you
No,
take it.
yeah, not Facebook. Well, I mean Facebook, yeah, but Instagram, YouTube,
more so.
Yeah, Instagram more so.
YouTube for sure.
For sure. YouTube,
Spreaker.
Spreaker,
That's
Podbean,
the audio version.
Spotify. Check us out on all the audio versions because I know we do have our fans that are loving our audio. So and we love you for that.
I love the versus challenges specifically because I can listen to one on my way to work.
Oh yeah.
Or like during my lunch break. Like I love podcasts that are like short, 15, 20, 25 minutes tops, because they fit in little pieces. Like I'm also listening to like, New Heights with the Kelseys, and that's an hour and a half, but it takes me like 2 weeks to listen to it. Now I'm 2 behind because they put up so much. But yeah,
I know, and when I'm cutting the grass, it takes me about 45 minutes to an hour to cut the grass total with cleanup and all that. And I'll throw on one of our episodes, get through one episode. Also listen to some of our other podcast friends who work the arm. I listen to them as well too. So if you haven't checked them out, check them out. They're all about wrestling. And just some other podcasts. Check out the Three Terrible Gamers.
yeah. I need to say something about that really quick.
Yeah.
Because I didn't watch it. I was on their 100th episode.
Yeah.
You were busy that day, so I was the lone guest speaker. Most of the time they will do a video or not video. They'll do audio only.
Yeah.
But they did a video since they had a guest. My head is so shiny in that video.
like this.
It is
like
it
shiny
is
like
a
this?
beacon.
Yeah.
Coming right off my forehead, and it looks so bad. Like I don't know why I waited so long to check it out, but I watched it. And I'm like, oh my fucking God, I need to put a hat on if I ever go back on that podcast. So just click on it just to see the unicorn of light coming out of my forehead. Yeah. Sorry, that was very.
We are kind of bright today too. I don't know why, but how or why, but whatever. It is what it is.
I'm bright every day.
Sure.
All right.
So
we know what we're arguing.
Yes.
So a single flip.
To decide who's going to go first.
We'll just see Kevin call tails and be right again.
Yeah, I'm calling tails. You don't even have to ask. You already know tails never
warm
fails.
up the warm side or the head side and they get
2 minutes will be on the clock. We will defend and talk about our different things. Try to get your microphone real close because the last time when you did it 2 weeks ago,
I do it right.
Oh yeah, because it came out really good. I didn't even need the sound of it. So 3, 2, 1. Oh, that was pretty. Tails never fails.
Suck it.
That's my first loss in a little while.
I don't think you comment. Go watch.
I
all
think
of
I
them.
have
Let me know.
one loss.
Maybe
one loss.
Maybe one. Okay.
Someone do the stats. Put it in the comments.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Terrible Gamers
awesome.
Wiki. Somebody get that started. Kyle said, "Fuck, 47 times this episode."
Dude, if we had someone to do that, I will send you I will personally buy you a t-shirt, a Terrible Gamers t-shirt, if you come by and give us our statistics on that.
On everything. Games played, how long we played them.
Yeah. No, I maybe not that. That's a lot of work. But like maybe like pick one episode. The episode of
the drinking
1941. The 1941 episode
with the beer. What do we call it? A beer run.
The beer run. Yeah. How many beers?
Drink every time you die.
Yeah. If you can comment how many times we drank and how many times we said the F word, and I will send you a t-shirt.
That'd be cool.
Okay. And then I'm
gonna do it and get a free t-shirt.
Yeah. Kyle is not eligible. No one that lives in my house or his house is eligible. Or damn it. You know what? No family members either.
I don't know any family that has that much time on their hands.
So if you do that,
Except
but you
mom.
also have to like, follow, subscribe, and share. How about that?
That's an awesome.
And if you
awesome
do that,
challenge.
I will buy you a t-shirt and send it to you. Okay. So you reach out to us, terriblegamerspod@gmail.com, and I will make that happen. Okay.
Don't just make it up.
One person
We will verify.
Yes,
we will verify.
we will verify. I will. Because there's money on the line now. So, all right. So
I want to flip 2
Yes.
minutes to argue why it's in the title. I'm sure, or something. Maybe not.
no, the games aren't.
They won't be.
No.
Yeah, not for something like this when we
No.
do favorites.
Yeah.
I am arguing for an Xbox 360 game, which is not
Fully
really retro.
For
But
kids
I played
nowadays.
it. But I
it's
played it 20
retro.
years ago. I played it not quite 20 years ago. Maybe like 16 years ago. No, that can't be right.
When you
either.
have an Xbox
does
Series X and they have a whole section of like retro games and it's Xbox 360 games, I think it now enters the retro category.
count it. All right, cool.
It's
So
not
I'm
fair.
arguing
That's not fair.
Fear.
Fear.
I'm bringing this up because I also have the entire game recorded of me playing.
Have you
that
finished?
I have played the whole game. It's all recorded. It just needs to be put up in a playlist on our channel.
Awesome. Load it up. Are you gonna upload all of them at once?
No, I'll probably stagger it.
Stagger, okay.
Maybe like once a week or something, but it'll.
Okay.
I don't know. We'll see. But I want to do like a. Here's why I did this.
I started my
video.
Grand Theft Auto one, and I just decided that it's gonna take way
That's
too
a game
long.
that's
I know.
never ends.
I got
People
a
are
whole,
still playing Grand Theft Auto.
I know. I got a whole nother thing with the Nintendo World Championships that I was gonna do, and I haven't started yet because life's busy.
That's it. Just life.
Yeah, just life.
Okay.
All right,
Fear.
2 minutes on the clock. Are you ready? 3, 2. I don't have any background video too, so for you.
You're good. Let's
'cause
do it.
I don't have an Xbox.
Just leave the
360.
pink thing.
All right, 3, 2, 1, and go.
So Fear stood for First Encounter Assault Recon. You play as a like SWAT team member who gets called into this like fucked up situation, basically. As you play, you're learning all this supernatural creepy shit's going on. There's like this drone army being controlled by a psychic general. And as things go on, you start to realize you have similar abilities as this general guy. The cool thing about the game is the characters develop and you learn more about the world you're in and how messed up these people are. It's like this huge corporation that found this little girl that had these psychic abilities, and they used her to make a child, and that child is the general, and she has a psychic link to him, and it's just creepy, and she's locked in this like cage 50 miles away, but is able to control people. And she has like a psychic presence that like haunts you as you play the game. And there's awesome weapons. Like you get a shotgun, if you aim right, which watch the videos because I got pretty darn good at it, you will just dust or mist a guy, right? Like if you shotgun blast point blank, there is no longer a physical
45.
presence in front of you. It is just red mist. You get a gun called the Penetrator, which just sends out like nails like as big as your arm, and you can literally nail people to the wall. Like awesome game. And then you turn around and there's this creepy little child scaring the crap out of you. Lights flicker. The really cool dynamics of the game, like if you accidentally kick like a can on the ground, it'll ding 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 ding, and it's like dead silent. So like there's a lot of little jumpy, creepy things that are happening, and there's no shortage of blood and gore. The supernatural elements when you're fighting against the bad guys, like they made it harder. Like they hide behind cover, they try to flank around you. You have to kind of pay attention. It rose like the first person shooter genre to another level of difficulty. Oh man. I could talk for more about Fear. I loved
see that.
Fear.
See that.
Well, there's like 20 hours of gameplay.
Well, actually, so while you were doing that, I was trying to get my game ready, and I realized that everything froze. Not on our end, on the recording end, on the end of playing the game. So like I'm hitting start and nothing's happening.
Oh, is that why it's stuck there?
It literally is just a title screen for the Game Boy Color version of this game. I'm gonna throw it up there for like
just to
15 seconds just to have something different on the background, but yeah, it's just, I'm like fuck. So
it's all good, it's all gravy.
Yeah, but all right, well I will be arguing or defending or just talking about one of my favorite horror games, which is Resident Evil. Yeah,
it did that on the menu screen, didn't it?
Yes,
it did.
Yeah, I haven't played it in a while. I want it because they've remade it.
So many times.
Yeah, updated it or whatever. So, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and start the timer. 3, 2, 1. Resident Evil for the original PlayStation. So that was a third-person survival horror game. I believe it was 1996 it came out, and I was 10 years old when that came out, and I played it. And let me tell you, I had nightmares. Playing that game, I had nightmares. Yes, absolutely. So, and I will admit it. You played as Chris or Jill, and I feel like I always ended up playing as Chris, but then the times that I played with Jill, I got further in the game. So, I never actually beat the game because I
got close.
I'm such a terrible gamer that I
never understood how to merge the plants.
Great. This is my time.
Add
do
10
this
seconds.
all the time.
Add 10 seconds.
No, you're fine. I think the part that always scared me was when you go through into the dining room, and this is like early on in the game, like the first like minute.
First thing you see.
Yeah. So you walk into the mansion, you walk into the dining room, you get your shit in the dining room, and then you go out and make a left, and then boom, it pans out, and there you hear crunching, and then turn it. Well, I guess it's turning this way.
Doesn't matter.
Turn that
you
way.
get what happened.
Yeah, turn, and it's just blood and a dead person right in front of him, and he's like, worst sound effects ever. But it was scary at the time because at the time there was no games like that.
Well, it was also like an integrated cutscene.
Yeah,
integrated cutscene.
Yes. And I was like, that. I mean, there was cutscenes before that, but that was like the true one that just like, oh my gosh. And you're running down that hallway, you're trying to kill the guy, and then, then you go down that one hallway with the glass, and then the dogs, the demented dogs jump out at you.
Demon dogs.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, and though they were not easy to kill, and because it was third person, and some of the camera views were like, the camera was up here, and you were coming through that hallway. And which was that the dog one was like that. It was like your security camera. You're on a security camera, and the dogs jump out and your turn. So it was not easy to like aim, because it wasn't like first person where you like everywhere you turn is you're shooting.
Like in Doom and stuff.
Yeah. So and that game just freaked me the hell out. And I feel like it probably still would freak me out if I played it nowadays because it's been so long. That.
Whenever we talk about Resident Evil, I believe we talked about last year, that scene where you got the guy in the lab coat on the ground. You don't know what's going on. You just hear the the mukbang eating something kind of noises, and he turns and just freaks you out. Like this, it definitely set a standard for horror games.
It was like horror games are here and they're not going anywhere. And I think that proves it with how many Resident Evils have been out here since then.
What is Resident Evil? Just
yeah.
Like I almost argued for Dead Space, which is like in space where you have nothing and you need to find things and survive these demon monsters, and the mechanics of that game were cool because you have to like shoot off their limbs first or they don't die. Like it had weird stuff going on.
The game that I almost did, but it's way too modern for what we do. But we talked about like, do we leave it to just retro, or do we go to like all?
Yeah,
can we open it up to everything? I was all for opening it up, but then I'm like, no, we should leave it to retro. But the other game was Dead by Daylight.
Yeah, that's
that game. That game's awesome. I mean, it's you play online and you play as either the Texas Chainsaw Massacre guy,
or Jason,
or some of
they're all based on stuff like that.
all based off of the movie characters. And you are,
but there's other modern games. There's like Don't Scream, which is like a PC game where you just
heard of that.
You have to have your mic on all the way, and you are going through the forest.
Yep.
And they jump scare the shit out of you, and any sound you make, you go back to the beginning.
Yep.
And the idea is to make it to safety without making a noise. Like that's a cool premise.
That's a cool concept.
I just ordered the PS5 version of The Quiet Place. I forget what the name of it is, the game they're making, but it's a similar idea. You have to not get killed by the Demogorgon looking things. I'm excited to play that. It might be out by the time this goes up because it's soon.
It
might be within 2 weeks.
I just
but
think
there's just so many games. There's like not a live action. It's like Among Us, but it's not. But that's a PC game. There's so many things on Steam. Like I keep marking to try, but I never have time to sit on my PC and play a game.
I know, and that's my.
There's the Alien Isolation game.
Yeah,
where you're hiding from a friggin' alien on the ship.
Like, I have the cool alien. Shit. I have the Alien light gun game. Like that. That's a lot of fun, and it's creepy. Same with House of the Dead. House of the Dead is another one that's creepy.
Yeah,
that's a good one.
There's no shortage of horror games. So comment what yours is, and then go play Fear.
What I want to know is from you all, was there one that was on like Atari, Nintendo? Like the earlier systems, like Sega Master System.
We played some of those last year. The ones we know of. But
but like, was there any other ones? Like we talked about Chiller, Nightmare on Elm Street, and Friday the 13th. But are there any other ones that like really like just freaked you the hell out? I mean, like Resident Evil was mine. I mean,
I want to find for sure is that Alone in the Dark.
Yeah,
that's credited as the first horror survival game.
I have played that on the Game Boy before, Game Boy Color.
The original, is like a MS DOS.
I couldn't figure it out. It was really hard to figure out.
And then there's what was the other one that came up? Hold on, I'm scrolling. Clock Tower. That was like a slasher kind of. You're stuck in a mansion trying to get out. We were talking
about Clock Tower before this. So
we'll see if we can find stuff like that. If we can't find those,
so
tune in next week to check that stuff out.
Yeah, check out all the horror slasher scary
survival games we're gonna try to play.
Old retro type games. So and throw some stuff in the comments as well too.
Like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Check us out. Come back next week. See the full hour episode of what we find and what we come up with.
Yeah, and
all right, guys?
Hopefully check out last week's episode as well too with Doom and Wolfenstein.
It's always fun.
Always
fun playing those.
Those games are so much fun. So I love them. So check it out. It's definitely a good time. Check out the Versus Challenge on that as well too.
Mm-hmm.
And if you have any other questions, reach out to us. terriblegamerspod@gmail.com, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Spreakers, Podbean, Spotify. Give us a like, give us a subscribe, give us a follow, give us a share. Check out all of our merch in the TeePublic. We got a ton of stuff down there. Shout out to other podcast friends, Work the Arm, and 3 Terrible Gamers. And as always, keep on playing.